When you are making a hard decision, the most common advice you'll hear is to trust your gut. But if you are in the middle of a major life transition, your gut and mind are probably flooded with information. When the stakes are high, fear and truth can feel identical in the body. They both cause your heart to race. They both keep you up at night. They both feel urgent. In this video, I'm going to show you why fear and truth feel identical in the body, how to map the two types of fear on the integrity wheel, and 3 specific questions you can use to tell the difference so you can make a decision you can actually trust. Hi, I'm Jessica. If you are trying to make a decision, but you cannot tell whether you are protecting yourself or abandoning yourself, this video is for you. The problem with the trust your gut advice is that it assumes your body only sends one signal at a time. But in any season of deep change, your body is usually sending several signals at once. You might feel the deep, quiet truth that a relationship or a career has run its course. At the exact same time, you might feel the loud, frantic fear of what it will cost to leave it. When those two signals fire simultaneously, it is incredibly difficult to know which one to follow. Fear can disguise itself as wisdom. It can sound like responsibility. It can sound like being realistic. It can sound like trying to protect the people you love. Truth can feel terrifying because truth often requires you to dismantle something you worked very hard to build. The goal is to learn how to tell the difference between the fear that is trying to keep you safe and the fear that is trying to keep you small. If you have ever been paralyzed by a decision because you couldn't tell if you were being wise or just afraid, take a second and tap the like button. It helps this reach people who need to hear it. Here's what's happening. We tend to treat all fear as if it's the same thing. But clinically and practically, there are 2 very different kinds of fear operating when you are making a hard choice. On the integrity wheel, this discernment process often happens in autumn, the season of reckoning and release. Autumn is where you look honestly at what has happened and clarify what still matters. The fear you feel in autumn is usually the fear of loss, the fear of letting go of the old structure, losing your stability, or facing the grief of what is already finished. That fear is loud. It demands certainty. It wants a guarantee that if you let go of the old structure, you won't fail. That fear is often loyal to your old performance, not your actual well-being. But there is another kind of fear that emerges as you move towards spring, the season of becoming. Spring is where the new, honest thing begins to form. The fear you feel here is different. It is the fear of exposure, the fear of finally being seen for who you actually are and what you truly want. That fear is quieter, but it is deeper. It is the fear of stepping into the next phase of your life. So when you are trying to make a decision, you have to ask yourself, which fear is driving the bus? Are you afraid of losing the mask? Or are you afraid of finally taking it off? The question is not, am I afraid? The question is, what is this fear loyal to? Fear that is loyal to your well-being deserves respect. Fear that is loyal to your old performance deserves examination. Truth is not the absence of fear. Truth is the part of you that stays clear after the panic settles. That is the difference. Fear usually gets louder when you question it. Truth usually gets steadier when you sit with it. Fear tends to rush. Truth can wait long enough to be honest. If this framework is helping you make sense of where you are, consider subscribing. New videos are published 2 to 3 times a week, and this is the work we explore together. So when you are trying to tell the difference between fear and truth, start by slowing the decision down enough to separate the signal from the noise. Here are 3 questions, not a worksheet you have to perform honestly or perfectly, just a way to listen. First, What is fear protecting? If your answer is your health, your financial stability, your recovery, your children, or your actual capacity, that fear may be giving you very important information. If the answer is your image, other people's comfort, the role you have outgrown, or the version of yourself people still expect you to be, that fear may be protecting the old structure, not your actual life. Second, what remains after urgency fades? Fear often demands an immediate decision because urgency keeps you from noticing what is true. Truth may be comfortable, but it does not usually need to bully you. Give the decision room if you can. Walk. And there's actually a video I've done on what walking does to your mind and your ability to hear yourself more clearly. I'll go ahead and link that below. Sleep. Take a nap. It often serves as a wonderful reset. Write a page or two in your journal. Step away from the input. Then ask, what do I still know when I am no longer flooded? That answer is worth paying attention to. Third, which choice keeps me whole? That is the integrity question. Which choice allows you to remain in honest relationship with yourself? A truth-based choice may still be difficult. It may cost something. It may disappoint someone. It may require repair. What it does not require is that you abandon yourself in order to maintain the appearance of being fine. The mistake many people make is waiting for a choice to feel completely clean before they trust it. Adult decisions are rarely clean. They are layered. They are complicated. You may feel relief and grief at the same time, clarity and fear at the same time. That does not mean that you're doing it wrong. It means the choice matters. Don't ask fear to disappear before you move. Ask what the fear is serving. If it's serving your well-being, listen. If it is serving your old performance, get curious. When the same quiet knowing remains after the urgency fades, that may be the part of you telling the truth. What is one hard decision you are facing right now where fear and truth feel tangled together? Let me know in the comments. And if this video helped you see the difference between fear and truth, the next step is learning how to trust yourself after the choice is made. That's where we're going next. Stay with me. This work matters. You matter. See you in the next one.